Hello everyone, my name is Justine Elisha 10 and I'll be facilitating today's vocabulary differences. I'm here with
Mabuhay! I'm Ashca Gragasin. I'm from in Philippines.
Hi, Danica Uson from China.
Hello, I'm Divine Rentutar from UK.
Nay, Ayuman, Grachelle May, Parel, Iya from Korea.
and this is vocabulary differences.
In this night of starry sky, my baby told me with a sigh, saying words that came across as a doubt. I reassured that every day my love is strong and gentle.
So for today, I'll be showing a bunch of pictures and please tell me what do you call them. So let's start. Okay, so we have picture number 1.
So in the Philippines, we call it cigarette.
Oh my god, we're the same.
Really? But in Tagalog, we call it cigarillo.
Oh. How about yours?
In our country, we actually call it also cigarettes, but we also call it fads, but in informal form.
How about for China?
In our country, we call it Shangyan.
In my country, we call it sambe. It's so cool.
We have picture number 2.
So in the Philippines, we call it hoodie.
Ooh, but like, isn't the weather like really hot there?
So Filipinos still love to wear even if the weather is hot. How about yours?
In China, we call it Wei.
How about for
British?
In UK, we actually call it the same, but we also pronounce it the same, like huri.
Wow. Mine in Korean too. We pronounce it hoodie, but the spelling is different. Like Hudi, hoodie.
We have picture number 3.
So in the Philippines, we call it college.
So what are like some famous college in the Philippines?
Around Manila, we have University of Philippines, UST, Ateneo University, and La Salle University.
Oh. For China, what about for China?
In our country, we call it Dash.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. How about yours?
In my country, we call it DEHAC. What about in British?
In UK, college refers to further education before secondary school, but commonly we call it university.
Oh, university.
We have picture number 4.
So in UK we call it differently. We call it mobile phone.
Wow.
What about for Philippines?
In the Philippines, we call it cell phone, but sometimes phone.
For Korea?
We call it hudipon. Hudipon.
What about in Chinese? We call it Shouju.
Oh, nice.
Let's move on to picture number 5.
In China, we call it Shoudian.
What about for Korea?
We call it sunjandeng. Wow.
Yeah. For Philippines?
We call it flashlight.
Flashlight.
Wow, flashlight.
And for
UK?
From UK, we actually call it not the same as yours. We call it torch.
Wow.
Torch? Really? But like, doesn't it have flames?
Fire. actually the same as the picture shown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Picture number 6. So let's start with Philippines.
So in the Philippines, we call it corn. But another information, in the Philippines, there are so many corn fields here. Yes.
What about for Korea?
We call it Usosu.
Ususu?
Yeah, Usosu.
Oh, and for China?
We call it
You and me? What about for UK?
In UK, we call it sweet corn, but if it's in the cup, we call it corn in the cup.
Wow! We're down to our 7th picture. So let's start with Korea.
In Korea, we call it gang.
Gang?
What about What about in Philippines?
In the Philippines, we call it rope, but sometimes the Filipinos don't usually wear it.
Okay.
Yes.
For China?
in our country we call it pausi or yupan.
And for UK?
In UK, we actually call it dressing gown.
Wow!
Dressing
gown.
gown.
That's extravagant.
Yeah, sometimes we also call it bathrobe.
Ooh, nice.
We have our 8th picture. Let's start with UK.
So, I think that picture is a game, right? So, in UK, we actually call it football.
Ooh.
Football.
What about for Philippines?
We call it soccer.
Soccer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
soccer. How about you, Chinese?
In China we call it zushu.
Ooh, it's like shoes.
And for Korea?
We call it chuku.
Chuku.
Silent G, chuku.
We have our 9th picture. Let's start with China.
In Chinese we call it yogian.
What about for Korea?
In Korea, we call it a pyunbano.
What?
Sorry, a pyunbano.
That's like really hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? How about for UK?
We actually call it postcode.
And for Philippines?
We call it zip code. Each cities has a different zip code.
In the Philippines?
Yes, in the Philippines.
We're down to our last picture, number 10. Let's start with China.
In our country we call it wei shi or ling
That's hard. What about for Korean?
In Korean language, we call it yamacha.
For UK?
In British language, we actually call it pusher or ba-e.
Like the ba.
No, it's spelled like B-U-G-G-Y, but pronounced as ba-e.
What about for Philippines?
In the Philippines, we call it stroller.
Stroller. Yeah. Appreciating vocabulary diversity not only enhances our communication skills, but also deepens our cultural awareness. By exploring vocabulary differences, we gain insight into how language evolves over time. So that's it for our vocabulary differences, and thank you for watching. Bye!